part of everyone's life, and I remember it being the best time of my life. Playing every day, no worries, being innocent, but not every child has the same experience. It is estimated that 13 to 20% of kids in the US experience a mental health disorder, which is 1 out of 5 kids, and $247 billion is spent each year on childhood mental disorders. My time during at Parkside Preschool, I saw a lot of kids with these disorders, and it really broke my heart. They're so debilitating, and seeing a 3-year-old so scared of what will happen that they hide in corners and don't speak to anyone is really difficult, but difficult is just scratching the surface. Children with anxiety, like teens and adults, think the worst of the situation, but due to their young age, they get stuck in the proverbial mud of anxiety. GAD, or general anxiety disorder, makes kids really hard on themselves, and they strive for perfection, seek constant approval or reassurance, which makes it really hard to make friends. Separation anxiety, which is common for kids 18 months to 3-year-olds, is, like I said, common, and it's not normal to feel anxiety when a parent leaves the room, but usually kids can be distracted from it. But when kids get older, it takes longer for them to calm down, and they don't like being left alone. Usually means they suffer from separation anxiety disorder. This affects 4% of children, and it's most common in ages 7 to 9. The symptoms are usually like kids who refuse to go to school or camp or sleepovers, and they can't be left alone to go to sleep. And they commonly worry about bad things happening to parents and caregivers, and they always have the vague sense of something terrible occurring, which is really hard for these tiny little shoulders to bear. The cost of anxiety disorders usually costs around $42 billion a year, which is 1/3 of our country's $148 billion total mental health bill. Another mental disorder is selective mutism, which is when children refuse to speak, and usually they stand motionless or expressionless, turn their heads, short twirl hair, avoid eye contact, or withdrawn to the corner and avoid talking. Most of the time, parents don't know that their kid has selective mutism due to the fact that they're really talkative when they're home, but at school they just kind of recede into a corner. And the reason I'm talking about this is because my passion is helping these kids. I've been a teacher for 5 years now for 2 to 5-year-olds, and it really breaks my heart when I see these kids have to deal with all these problems at such a young age and bear this problem on such tiny little shoulders. I love children, and their personalities are really what makes them unique. It's really unfortunate that kids and other adults don't see it that way, and so it's leaving these kids to suffer in silence. Childhood, it should be filled with happy memories and sunlight, friends and family, and it's a real shame that some can't